Hey everybody, this is Alan Fine, and I'm here with Hervé Gastineau, who's Ponant's new-ish CEO. And we're going to talk to him about the ships that have been delivered during the pandemic, post-pandemic sailing, sustainability, and a new vision for Ponant here on Insider Travel Report. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you, Alan.
So let's start with, you're not from the cruise industry. Where are you from that you got this lofty position?
I'm a little bit of the sea environment.
You're salty.
I'm salty. I'm a sailor, and I'm coming from Beneteau Group. I was the CEO of Beneteau Group. We are one of the leaders of sailing boats, motorboats, much smaller though than the Ponant ships.
Okay, but so obviously there's some crossover.
Yeah, definitely.
And so the next question I have is, so when did you start? Around?
I started in March, end of March 2021.
Now, where does that lie in the acquisition of ships? Where between which ships?
Good question. That was the end of the Explorer series, which is a group of 6 vessels that were started when Artemis, our new shareholder, the Pinot family, the Kering, Gucci, Saint Laurent, and all the big names in the luxury world acquired Artemis. They launched this major step up in our fleet size with 6 new ships. So I came at the end of this series, and I joined when we were about to launch this major vessel, le Commandant Charcot.
Mais oui,
absolument.
Yeah.
And this icebreaker is a unique feature that we are so proud to share now with our guests and customers. It was launched a bit earlier this season, so we made our first Antarctic season on board the Commandant Charcot. And for myself, I could sail on board this ship for the dry run, which was going to the North Pole. A very exciting moment.
We were following it. So
Did
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was very exciting. We were the first French and probably one of the
early
rare cruising vessel able to reach the North geographic pole, which was quite something. The top of the world. And then the same ship a few months later reached the southern point on Earth where you can sail, which is 78 degrees 44 south.
That's bragging rights.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of very exciting records that show the possibilities of that ship. It's an amazing vessel.
So that's that one. And what about Le Ponant?
Le Ponant, a very exciting project too, which is still going on. It's a 3-year refit that is going to be accomplished in the next months. We are looking forward to see her in July this year.
Going where?
Going to the Med, and then to the Seychelles. And then we will announce in the next days or weeks the next destination, which should be a big surprise to everyone.
Okay, so you're not now.
A bit later.
Well, you have to sign a few more contracts, probably ports and those that sort of.
Yeah.
All right, and now, so being new at the job, what have you found to be the challenges running a global company?
Yeah. I joined the company at a very special moment, very special time. All the fleet was idle, sitting, in layup mode, totally stopped.
What a way to inherit it. At least no one can blame you.
Yeah, and I can only do better in terms of turnover. I started with 0 turnover. Right. So it was quite something. And, getting back the motivation, the operations back to speed, having the seafarers coming back to us and delivering the same level of service and quality that we are expecting.
Trying to ramp up is not easy.
Exactly. A ramp up is always very difficult. So it was my first challenge, get things ready for the restart. And I'm glad to report that this month we have 11 ships at sea. We will have a 12th ship at sea next month. And the 13th will be Le Ponant in July. So we are close to, a normal situation where the vessels are back to operation. So that was my first challenge. The second challenge was really to get ready for the transformation that we are expecting around purposeful sea travel. And I like to present Ponant that way, rather than, cruising company. We are delivering extraordinary voyages. We are bringing or taking our guests to very remote places where others do not go, and Le Commandant Charcot is a very fine example of that. Also, Le Ponant, as a sailing ship, can go where others do not go. But beyond that, we do that by providing a unique experience with our guides, with our naturalists, expedition leaders, our experts, and our lecturers. So this is all this context of exploration, expedition, that we are so proud of and that we want to bring to the next level.
So there are a lot of expedition ships, but yours is different in that it's European, it's it's French, and that must color it as well.
Yeah. Let me give you a few examples of where we differentiate from the others. Yes, indeed, we have this French touch, this French flair, this French heritage, I should say, which shows by the style of our vessels, which shows by the cuisine, the food we can deliver. It also shows by our captains, and I would just like to elaborate a bit on that. Our captains play a major role. They are French, but not only are they French, they are people.
Interact.
Exactly, yeah, and they have a lot of freedom, flexibility, to adapt their itineraries to our guest expectation. When they see something, unique, something
be flexible.
Special, they would be flexible, and they would stop the ship. They would bring the customers to where we should go. Whether should it be to see some polar animals, some northern lights, or to go with the Zodiac on a remote.
Sure. But in so doing, do they interact? And I assume they make announcements, and they become a part of the cruise.
Exactly. So they're accessible. They are part of the cruise. They like to share their passion, their experience.
I'm sure it's felt.
And it's really much appreciated by our customers. So, in some companies, the captains are bus drivers. I mean, they have the responsibility.
Not here.
A huge responsibility to bring safely people from point A to point B. Here we're asking more. We're asking them that they share their passion, their understanding of the sea, of the nature, and that they engage with our customers.
That's great. So now, as we come out of the pandemic, what's your vision for Ponant? Where are we going?
Yeah, that's an exciting question. Yeah. A lot is happening at the moment. As you know, sustainability is the word that has been pronounced many, many times here at Sea Trade.
You've always been sustainable, but you're taking it up another notch?
Yeah, definitely. So, and it's not only about greenwashing, talking, it's facts now. You need to demonstrate, you need to be up to the expectations and demonstrate that what you have been announcing becomes true. So we are heavily investing in the next generation of ships. We're also making sure that our current ships are zero single-use plastics, very limited CO2 emissions, NOx, SOx, all those pollutants, also waste treatment. That has to be at the highest level. So we invest in that, and this is something that we want to carry on to be at the forefront of this industry. Another big move that I see is how can we be more involved in local communities and sharing the value creation that we usually or typically would create. This is very important because in most ports, in most remote places, people are expecting from us that we are not just, coming for a few hours and then gone. So we are here to establish long-term relationships and to support local communities. So this is very important because we have a role to play, and I think that if we want to change the image of the cruising industry, rich people, enjoying their lives and without caring, so much about what's going on around. We need to be fully committed. So that's also something that we are heavily committed to do. I would say also third and last that the level of enrichment on board has to be even higher. I would just give you a couple examples here.
Just want to learn.
Yeah, exactly. They want to learn, and we want to share with all our experts.
It's part of the experience.
It's part of the experience. It has to be transformational, right? It has to be experiential. I think one thing Ponant is really unique at is the new Ponant Science program that we have launched. That means that we are now welcoming scientists from the world, especially on the Charcot, which she has been designed to host 2 laboratories, scientific equipments, scientific coordinators, and to have those interactions, between the scientific community and the passengers, so that our passengers become also ambassadors and
spread the word.
Exactly.
Not just about Ponant, but sustainability and the rest.
More importantly, about what they've seen, how we should behave, why protecting oceans, environment, and the polar regions where we operate so much is key for the future of our children.
Mm-hmm. And you touched on the next generation. Can you tell us a little about your vision on that?
Yeah. It's a good question because we're already working on the 14th ship of Ponant. Right. And what will she look like? It will be obviously a carbon neutral vessel. It will also be the clear demonstration that the future of cruising is not cruising. It has to be something totally different. Slow travel, no constraints, ETA, ETD, you want to remove that.
Full freedom, true luxury.
It's true luxury, absolutely. So we believe that the future is about small ships, superb quality of service, a ratio of crew to packs around 1:1. And, this absolutely wonderful experience that you're expecting when you're on board Ponant. So the next vessel should concentrate all those characteristics and should be, the illustration of the know-how that we have collected over the years.
That's it, because the mind reels, because you've already done that, so you're going to do that more. Do it better.
Yeah, do it better. Keep doing it better and leading the way if we can. That would be awesome.
So you are wonderfully European, and I take it that your guests tend to be European or French. Mm-hmm. What are you doing now to reach out to the North American market?
Yeah, actually, there is a false impression that Ponant is a French company. We actually have around 30% only of our guests who are French. 50% are Americans, and another 15% are coming from Asia Pacific, which is mostly Australia, New Zealand. So we currently have probably 2/3 of our customers English speaking. But what they like about Ponant is this French touch.
They're coming for that.
And they're coming for that.
Sure.
Yep.
So but the question still remains, what's the outreach to North America?
Well, we are investing.
How can we get them more involved?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe you are going to help, right?
Oh, that is our job. That is our job. So let's tell them where to go online and everything else.
Yeah.
And if you have any programs they should be aware of.
We have wonderful programs for them. We have this Paul Gauguin, who has been acquired by Ponant, with a typical and typically American product, selling in French Polynesia. So it's a nice combination of an English-speaking vessel, but with a French destination.
No, but as you bring that up, how have you adapted that to the Ponant family? Any changes that we should be aware of?
We try.
Because they're already a good product.
Very good product, and we certainly want to keep the promises of this excellent product. What we've brought to that is the Alain Ducasse cuisine. So the very high-end cuisine that we have on the rest of the fleet. We also worked on some typical expedition features that we can provide and make sure that our lecturers, our naturalists, are up to the same level
as Ponant would have.
As Ponant would have. And then it's also for us a good way to combine different nationalities. We like to have Americans and Europeans on the same vessel, and these are very interesting encounters. People like to meet and see their difference, see their common passion on some destinations. So
vive la différence.
Vive la différence.
Except for nationalities.
That's true. Right. That's true. So that's what we like, to gather people, to connect people, and to make this world a better place, maybe.
Yeah. So basically, what we've been saying, we've been beating around the bush, but to wrap it all up, there's a phrase that you're starting to use to sum this. A new motto, maybe. What is it?
Yeah, we have a new motto, a new baseline, which is explore to inspire. And I think it's a good...
kind of says it.
Excuse me?
It kind of says it.
Yes, it says it all. Actually, it's about three major topics that we want to gather into this new concept. Number one, being at the forefront, of corporate social responsibility. Cruising has to demonstrate its credentials.
That will inspire.
Exactly.
Keep going.
Number two, being more international, because we want to gather and to connect people from all over the world, not only Europeans, not only French, but we are...
It inspires the true traveler.
Exactly. The third one is about enrichment. We want to upsell the product and make sure that it is really a truly transformational product, whereby our guests have a unique experience led by our naturalists, our experts, and so on and so forth.
Well, thank you for sharing that, because that's what we're going to be hearing more about in the future. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you, Alan.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.